Well, what's going on? Back with one of these videos. Like, I don't know, man. I had a gaming channel, but I'm gonna get some of y'all something to watch while, chit chat. For a minute, let's talk about something. The athlete. The one that is, you know, no matter what sport you're playing, um, no matter what, your story is, a lot of us can come together in terms of just being an athlete, playing a sport together, having fun, dominating, feel like you're doing something in life. You cannot be good at a lot of things, but sports, basketball, football, soccer, whatever that sport is, um, it can bring people together, and a lot of people strive to be the best. A lot of people say hey, I want to be this, I want to be that, and truth be told, man, to be great at anything, you gotta really be willing to, you know, sacrifice, and it's gonna cost you relationships. It's gonna cost you a lot of things. You know what I mean? And not giving. I would say for me, I had dreams of becoming a pro athlete. Never really talked about it as much. Yeah, my parents knew. Some of the people in my family knew. Um, that came up short. All right, that came up short. Um, but I guess it's this guy I went to school with kind of sparked that motivation in me, just to switch my mindset with any other goal. Now that football has passed me, to focus on other things and apply that mentality to just be so locked in and, you know, to dominate that aspect. But basically, um, it was, my career was started out good. I was fast. I was short. I was always short and fast. Um, Run the ball, play defense a little bit, play linebacker. But you know, as you start moving up, people telling you you're good. My dad's telling me like he's faster than this, and and people really not. And then like the stats, I think as a young person, um, it kind of gets in my head when I get older. So by the time I get to middle school, I already know I'm that guy. Like who's beating me? You know what I'm saying? And until you really get to high school, and I think college is when you see certain athletes, you be like, man, I'm not. I thought I was the only person like this. Like it was like, you know what I mean? You get to see athletes when you start playing in tournaments, when you start traveling up different states, and you start seeing these athletes, and you know, a lot of guys got the same talent as you. A lot of guys are, you know, as talented, some of the same abilities, but what's gonna separate you guys from from whatever state you in, and if he's in California, is that heart, that mindset every single day. Because a lot of guys got talent, but they can't stay focused. They can't stay focused on their craft. They can't stay focused on their game. They can't be checking themselves when they're getting out of line, when they getting out of alignment with just their goals in general, and that's getting to the next level. Just playing at the next level is something that people talk about. I done seen people post stuff, make dreams, but hey man, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes being great, how it feels, the stuff you got to go through, it sucks. I ain't gonna lie, it sucks at times because you tired. You got to get up in the morning. You got to watch film. You got to do this type of drills. You got to take care of your body. You might just want to go out and party. But hey man, listen, a lot of y'all really don't want to be great, and I had to be honest with myself too. And I was like, man, micro football, especially at that school, like I didn't want to be that great. I didn't put in the work. So at some point, you got to be honest with yourself about your career, and no matter what sport you playing in, you got to ask yourself, am I doing enough? And if you gave it your all that day of practice, that game day, let's go on a Monday practice, or let's go over the weekend, let's rest our body, let's eat right. It's really hard when you're younger before you get to college and stuff, before you get out on your own. But I would say when you playing, especially when you come in the game and you playing high school ball or whatever, man, make sure you taking care of your body to the best of your ability. Some of y'all might have a little job. I ain't gonna lie. Me personally, I could not work a job and play football. It was just like I couldn't do it. On the weekends, you telling me I gotta get up? Maybe I could, but I don't know. I just wanted time to myself to play the game, to chill, to relax. Meanwhile, I should have been working. You know what I mean? I should have been working at least one day out of the week, just to keep getting myself football gear, and I could probably get some type of muscle therapy or whatever. What those athletes got, like the hyperbolic chamber. I could start using those stuff like that. And I'm gonna just speak mainly on my career. All right, I had talent. Yes, I had talent. Was my mind in it? Was my heart in it? And it, when I want to play with that, like the school that I was at. No, hell no. I didn't want to play there. After the first year, I just seen these guys. I'm seeing, like, I thought I was. I knew I was good when in middle school, but when I got to high school and I got recruited and stuff like that, like, hey, come play for us, and I would go through workouts and stuff like that, and really I should have took it more serious, just because I had the upper hand and just to work out, and I got a head start, and I feel like I let my coaches down. Just not taking it serious, not taking advantage of the opportunity, not realizing that this is it. This is all you got. This is the only shot you got right here, right now. This is this shot. This is the shot to take it to the next level, whether that's D1, D2, to even play college ball. And you see guys now, they're getting paid. So, and now I wish I would have took it more serious. And if I had another chance to play football in the future, excuse me, I would definitely go back. If the money was right, or if it was college level, or, man, I mean, the decision, it's got to make sense. I got bills now. I got apartment, so everything's got to line up, everything's got to make sense, everything is it's my heart, and where's the passion at for that school, what makes me want to go play for you, stuff like that, decisions like that, I gotta make those decisions. But just getting a head start over the majority of the athletes. It was me and this other guy. We were just, working out. This was probably my sophomore year, but right before my sophomore year, I was still in middle school. But he would kind of pick me up, or I'll get dropped off, and we just gonna go work out. I would work out with some of the high school guys just to. So I was just, I didn't want to run track. That's another part we would get to, but just having that advantage and working out, and even if it's for a couple of days a week, I think I should have that advantage, that in shape advantage, and did I take care of my body as a young high school student coming out of middle school? No, I had a problem, sodas. So I can just analyze and see the problem. So, and I'm just saying that so some of y'all won't make the same mistake that I did, and really just take advantage of it, the opportunity that you got, and really realize that, hey, man, you don't got a lot of chances, bro. Man, any stuff happens, man. You can be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Man, you can get hurt outside the sport. You can get hurt in the sport. You can have surgeries and stuff like that, injuries. So just me getting that head started. Then when it come time to summer practice, and we started in June, and our team was the Firebirds. So me just not taking it serious, me just not maximizing the opportunity, and not really focusing on, like, the playbook and things like that, things that you have to know, your keys, and just because you don't say nothing, the coaches could tell that, even though they don't say nothing, they understand that, okay, he's not paying attention, and they're not gonna, and sometimes they're not gonna always say anything. So what happened in my career is my career, and I think that me not doing nothing and me riding the bench and playing running back, but I'm not paying attention in practice, so he took me off of running back and left me on defense. Is just it was just, I don't know. I wanted to quit. It was some of the most, but at the same time, I would say my 10th grade year? like some of the most like depressing time of my life, like just playing football up there. Like I just woke, like I really went to practice. Like why am I here? I just knew like I had that feeling and it never left, bro. It never really left. Like I just didn't want to be there at that school, but I didn't know how to tell my aunt that hey, aunt, I want to switch schools because I was supposed to go to, I think it was kind of like a private school or something like that. I just got to keep my grades up. I think that would have been the right environment. But that school, man, I ain't gonna lie, that school, even with going to that school, I think I could have took it to the next level just because the connections our coaches had and how our coaches just, you know, just wanted us to be great. You just wanted us to be great, wanted us to really make it to the next level, spoke very highly of us, but also got in our ass when, we did certain things. You got to do this and, the typical coaching. But, just not going to practice every day, not really being focused. Coming off the bench, I'm playing linebacker. I'm 5'3". I played defense in middle school, and they're just going off my middle school. And even some of the other coaches, they either know what I did and in middle school, even though we was getting blown out. But I was just fast paced to the ball. I was in my own zone. Like anybody, I was just cracking heads. Like when I was in middle school, like on the defensive side, I was a shorter guy, but I think I was a linebacker because I was just quicker than all the other guys. So, and in middle school, a lot of guys are really not that big. So, but I'm up here and I'm at this middle school and I'm hitting guys left and right. And then on top of that, I think one game I got 100 yards, but I got the ball like damn near every play. So I mean, obviously I'm supposed to have 100 yards. If I get the ball every play, you get 3-4 yards, stuff like that. So, and even in middle school, like just not perimeter plays, not stuff like that. The key fundamentals to playing a team sport. You got to know your job. You got to do your job. You got to know your assignment, and when you're part of a team. So, me not taking that serious, me not focused on that, me letting outside distractions steering me away, and yeah, just not being focused. Even the coach said something to my dad about when I got to high school about, oh, he not remember the plays and woo, 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 he's not doing this. It's like I don't want to do it. They might not think like, oh, yeah, they see I got talent, but they like, oh, he might just not want to do it, so they just gonna take me away and just, he was offensive, he was a kind of offensive coach, but switched me to defense. So with that being said, I ain't gonna lie. 10th grade year, that was the most depressing year of my school. Just not just for football, but the school year, the women. Like I just didn't like it in a general. I like one girl in my whole high school. So that should tell you. Like I only like this one girl, and she was white. I ain't gonna lie, but she was right. She was right. She looked straight. Just like not a lot of friends. Like I don't know, man. I just couldn't do it. It was just weird to me. Like I just didn't like being there. Like it just wasn't for me. Like I probably could play there, yes, but as far as going to that school, man, I can't go to the school, man. Like I just can't stand it. Like I don't know, man. It was just other stuff outside of football too that, just being close to the hood, people bringing guns and stuff like that, and just being around that kind of environment, and it's kind of what they call the hood and stuff like that. But some of the, I ain't gonna lie, the hood high schools and stuff got some good, football athletes, man, basketball athletes. So I think they got some of the best athletes, if you ask me, when you go to a different state and stuff like that. So only thing bad about those cities and those areas is just the violence is up in that area. But me just me just having that big head and me just like not holding myself accountable. I think if I would have holding myself accountable at 15, 16, like, hey, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to dock these playbook, I got to, remember these plays. What can I do better each and every day, And coach used to preach to us about getting better every single day, but then again, it went in one ear, went out the other, and you see me now. Obviously, I'm blessed. I still got a lot. I made a lot of money over the last couple of years, but it's still that feeling like, hey, I jacked that career off. You know, I jacked a time that I could have been. You know, I could have. Who would have knows where I would have been? Maybe I would have went D1. Maybe I would have went D2. I would have played ball at the next level, D2 or whatever. You know, I didn't give 100%. I know some of y'all is out there not giving it 100%, 110%. Y'all going out, y'all partying, y'all trying to be this type of person. Y'all, you know, trying to be somebody you're not when you're away from the football field, when you're away from the basketball field, the soccer field, whatever you at. Um, Make sure you watching film. Make sure you checking yourself. Like, okay, what do I need to do? And it's okay. Sometimes this practice is gonna be frustrating. It's okay. It's practice. It's gonna be frustrating, but in the end, hey, guess what? In the end, you work hard. You work hard at your craft, whatever your sport is, and you're trying to get to the next level. But keep that goal in mind. Um, you have to um, you have to work hard. It's no other way. It's uncomfortable at times. Um, you give up. You spend up a lot of time with just hanging out, going out, partying. But at the end of the day, man, listen. When you look at your future, man, and when you really living what you said you was gonna be doing, and what you said you was gonna play college, college sports or whatever you want to play at this school, and you actually go out and do that, and you gave it man, it's gonna feel good. And when you start accomplishing goals and stuff like that, like especially when you go pro at at the sport that you're playing, like that's just a lot of athletes' dream. It's just crazy, to play at that level and to see one of the guys I went to school with. He just got drafted this year, went sixth round, went to New Orleans. He was like a year under me. I was just thinking about, and I want to talk about his attitude towards the game that I seen. Obviously, we was cool. We was kind of cool. We was teammates, obviously, but I didn't really talk to him like that. I didn't really talk to a lot of guys outside of the game of football like that. Too much. You know what I mean? It was just that school, man. I don't know, man. It was something about. I just didn't like the school. Like it was some of the friends like that I had was cool. The teammates was pretty. They was pretty cool. Um, let's talk about his character. He went to Louisiana. Where he went to LSU. Wide receiver. Man, I remember 10th, 11th grade. We coming in and he's like he's just a. He was a sophomore, wasn't he? I think he was a sophomore. Um, we'll blow out a team or whatever. Whether he got in when the game started, at the end of the game, he had that energy about him. Like I could tell, like he just excited to play the game. Even sometimes after practice, he would stay after practice running routes just to prove, like, hey man, just to do one-on-one drills, or he'd go, and and practice, man, he was electric. Obviously, he was electric on the field. Off the field, I think he stayed out of trouble. Um, I think he was always focused on the field. He kept the right mindset. I could tell he have a way positive mindset, especially when things don't go his way. I done seen him lose his cool on the field once, but he snapped out of it. He didn't make anything to. He didn't cost the team anything that's going to cost us a penalty or something on the field. But he did take his helmet off. He cooled off for a second, got his head back in the game. Um, Always positive, always like in a kind of happy mood come game day, dancing and just giving 110% every single play, no matter if he was getting the ball, blocking, just wanting to make an impact for the team, And obviously, as a receiver, you want to catch football, but sometimes, you got to block, you got to do things that you don't really always, want, or that might not be your strong suit, like especially a speedy receiver like he was. Blocking probably wasn't, his, one of his best attributes. As a receiver, he can run routes, he can create separation, get that go ball. But he was always, I seen him get in the end of the game and we done blow out the team like about just 30 or something like that. It was 40, put 40 points on the board, and He just sitting there like just dancing and just ready. And he was getting the ball. He got a couple touches. He didn't start playing until I think he was a freshman. Played on varsity. Then his sophomore year he kind of played. No, maybe in my junior year. No, my sophomore year. Yeah, he played. Just a just an athlete, man. Just an athlete, and the right attitude goes a long way. I'm just saying that to say that the right attitude goes a long way. You don't always agree what your coaches are going to think about you, and how many minutes you playing or whatever the case may be. But then again, you got to be ready when your number is called or whatever. You really got to give it 110% every single play, and being able to be in shape like that on game day or whatever, and when your number is called, especially when you're playing football or whatever, man, it's got to be that preparation, and that's got to take place throughout the whole week of practice. Like you just gotta every single day. All right, cool. And sometimes it's gonna get frustrating. You're gonna get beat, but you're gonna learn. The main thing is you're learning in practice. You're getting those extra reps in. You see what can you do better. So you really gotta go and practice and just really focus and really compete with the guys in practice. That's how you really get better. And when you do that every single day at practice, every single week, you showing up. You're not just showing up just to show up to practice like how I was and just be there, but actually get better every single day. And even sometimes some of y'all love the game, the sport that y'all playing, basketball, football, whatever. Some days you're not gonna go to practice. Something might be going on outside of that. You just might not be feeling it that day. You might have a bad day, at school or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, you gotta suck that shit up, man, and be like, okay, you gotta shake that shit off, man, because your dreams is on the line, man. Some of y'all want to go to the next level, but y'all got little situations outside of that holding y'all back. Y'all got little situations outside of that just being very distracted of, you know, what y'all want to do for for your future. What do you want to have for your future? How much money do you want to make? Y'all gonna let that stop that? Because some of y'all can go play professionally overseas or whatever. Y'all can get in the door of college and get all types of degrees and stuff like that. And, you know, full ride scholarship and you play football. Just think about it. Even if you don't get drafted or anything, you don't go pro overseas or whatever, you still got a full ride scholarship to a D1 college or whatever. And you can go apply for to be a doctor at, space. It's all type of other jobs that you can get. And you guys want to keep those options, as far as open. You want to be some type of knowledgeable, even if you don't, what I mean, learn about something, or at least use that college experience to create your own business or something like that. But you can get some good jobs like that. Space, technology, stuff like that. And it's all paid for. Rather is if you didn't play football and you tried to apply to that school, hey, I'm gonna go here, you gotta pay. So just a fruit for thought, man. Make sure y'all keep a positive attitude on your life. With every chance that you get in life, you still got another shot. I think I still got another shot at life to be successful, to live a fulfilling life. And I just what you got going on in front of you right now, what you're going through in front of you right now, and it's probably not where you want to be at in life. Things can turn around. Things can turn around in 6 months, a year. You just gotta have that patience. You won't always have that patience, but you gotta have that patience, man, in life. If you're trying to accomplish some great things, you know what I mean? You gotta be patient and you gotta stay busy. You gotta, stay focused on what really matters. Don't let people throw you off. Don't let, what people talking down on you or just trying to make you feel bad. Don't let that get get in your head, because a lot of people talking about you, and they really not people that's really on your side. Like, and these could be your so-called friends. They say something slick or in the disguise of a joke or something like that, and really, they really don't like you, but they can't tell you that, so they gonna joke about it. It's a lot of stuff. People could be hating on you. Do not get sidetracked by that, man. You gotta cut all the distractions off. as far as like friends saying disrespectful things like that, people, you got to surround yourself with the right people, man, the right positive people, that think way different about certain negative, especially negative situations. When you can see a person go through a negative situation and turn that negative situation into a positive, man, like, okay, I can flip this around. It's going to take this time. Hey, I'm going to flip it around. Just because you're down this season or you're down this year, don't mean that you won't be successful in the end if you just keep working. So it's power in that mindset. Don't forget it.